Documents have revealed the government is considering cuts to a scheme which pays for disabled people to get taxis if they can't get public transport. It's created concern in the disabled community. There'll be a repeat of the disastrous decision to suddenly restrict disabled funding last year. Amelia Wade reports.
Blake Forbes has severe cerebral palsy and relies on taxis to live his life.
Everything from doctor's appointments to just hanging out with friends and meeting up with them at like a cafe or a nice shop or something.
Blake is among the 107,000 Kiwis who use Total Mobility to take heavily subsidised taxis because they can't take public transport, some or all of the time. But the scheme has been under review for 2 years.
Not looking forward to the prospect, and it's very, very intimidating and extremely scary prospect.
I'm worried that the amount of funding that's going to be allocated to it is going to be cut, which will ultimately mean that there'll be less money available and that people won't be able to use their cards like they have in the past.
Nick Ruan is a disability advocate who's obtained documents which show Total Mobility is on track for a budget blowout, possibly to the tune of $8 million. The documents also show the government is looking at how to save money, like limiting trips or reducing the subsidy.
We'll end up in a situation where Total Mobility users will have to make really invidious choices. They'll have to make choices between, do I go to the doctor? Do I go and pick up my shopping?
The cost is expected to grow by $52 million over the 2024 to 2027 period, an increase of 72% from the previous period. And that's because trips have increased from 1.6 million in 2020 to 2.7 million this year and are expected to be 4.7 million by 2030, mostly because of our ageing population.
The majority of Total Mobility users are over 65 and they live in Auckland. They're actually your grandparents, they're members of the elderly community.
The documents also reveal the government knows the disability community is anxious about the review, especially after last year's flexible funding debacle, which restricted access to funds overnight without review.
I'd really just encourage the Minister just to get out front and communicate to the thousands of Total Mobility users who are really quite nervous at the moment, really concerned about what's going to happen, because they deserve an answer.
We asked Transport Minister Chris Bishop for an interview. He declined and sent through a 5-sentence statement. We asked whether he would consult before making changes. He said those decisions would be made in the future. We asked whether there'd be cuts. He said funding decisions would be made in due course.
Not good enough, says Nick.
It's significant and really important. This is the type of scheme that enables people to get out in the community every day. It enables people to get their shopping done. It enables people to go to their medical appointments, to connect with their family members.
If I didn't have it at all, or if it was severely limited, like I said earlier, it would be, very limiting to get around, and I'd be at home even more than I am now. And the quality of life for not only me, but others would be substantially poorer.
The sooner he and the disabled community get some answers, the better.